What's up, world, and welcome to our show, Cuzzo Convo. We're your hosts, Renaissance Ronnie
and Mo Lovely. We're here to have an open dialogue about all things Black reality TV, highlighting positivity and giving out real life accountability checks.
So grab your seat and whatever you need, because we're about to dig in.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Cuzzo Convo. We are so glad to have you back. And if you are new joining us, we welcome you. Hey, distant Cuzzo. So we are going to always just jump right on in. No fluff, no wasting no time. Let's get to it. So on this week's episode, what we were all waiting for was the Marsau and Tisha conversation. So I would love to discuss what we thought. Did we, think that he gave the answer that she was looking for? Do we agree with the conversation that was had? Yes, maybe so, no. And at the end of the day, do we believe that he was really with Chris Fletcher? So let's dig in. So tell me your thoughts, Miss Renaissance Ronnie.
I don't know. I really don't think. I mean, I guess this is the first time that we've seen Marsau kind of explain himself, and not beat around the bush too much. Even though, I mean, I don't think he can help it. Because he kind of like was skating around it at first, like using all of those, saying all those riddles. But I don't know. Like, I don't know if it was upsetting her because she was believing the rumors, or was it upsetting her because of what she said, and is that she just feel like everyone's just trying to take her marriage down, and why does it always have to be that he's cheating? And like, I think she just feels her marriage is under attack right now, so it just really hurts her. But it doesn't help that he doesn't really, I don't want to say defend her, but I guess defend himself. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I believe. I'm confused. He didn't say so many riddles that now I'm confused.
Right. So, I definitely watched the scene, had to rewatch the scene to really like pick this thing apart here.
Wait, start. So was it late? It was supposed to be later on in the day after she met with Miss Wanda at the food truck? Oh, okay.
So I'll say this. The fact that she wanted to have this conversation at Black, I don't know. Like, I just felt like that just wasn't the appropriate time, and I think that production could have definitely picked a better time to film, because I truth be told, if my mom came to me about some alleged rumors about my husband and me being like, hey, can you come outside? And then of course him saying, oh, this is a real long conversation. Like, I just, that already was, it's nothing that I'm assuming they have any control over. So production just did not, I don't think that was just a good, thing. Now, it could be that maybe they don't want their children to be in on those conversations. So therefore they're like, listen, if we want to have any sort of conversations about us and the rumors or whatever it's going to be, like, we need to have it outside our house. We don't bring it in our household. Which, if that's the boundary that they've set, then cool. It is what it is. And so therefore we got what we got. So the conversation for me, just like you said, messy Marsau, his little soul on the line with him speaking in riddles. My thing is that if none of these things were true, I just feel like he just should have straight up came and said, okay, Your mother came back to you and told this to you. Which my thing is that before even, and I get it that he doesn't pay attention to Miss Wanda like that. He's like, she's a non-factor for him. But I feel like I would have went to Tisha and said, listen, your mother came and she was asking me about this, and the third. And so I told her this, and that. And I just feel like that he could have taken the measure of saying something even before it even got to back to Tisha or through her mom, where she gets all, wound up and being like, what's going on? Like, okay. So I feel like that he could have said, just to let you know, your mother came to me that we had this conversation. Yes, I told her that you knew about this, because that's the other thing, that when he said that, when he did tell Miss Wanda that Tisha knew who he was with, Tisha in that conversation, unless they edited it out, Tisha never stated that she knew that he was with Chris Fletcher. She didn't say,
right, because she said she said that her mom said, yeah, that you were out of town with a friend and that I knew about it. And he never said, yeah, you did know about it, or they never kind of confirmed whether like
right, exactly. And so I'm like, and she never, unless they edited it out, Tisha never came forward and said, you know what, you're absolutely right. I do remember when you went to Atlanta, you said that you met up with Chris. She never said any of that. So, and then the main question that makes me think that she doesn't even really believe him 100% is that he then asks her, what do you think about that, babe? Well, wait a minute. If these things are true, what do you mean? What do I think about that? Like, I mean, and again, he could have been asking, like, do you believe me? But again, if you're saying that I knew that you were in Atlanta and you met up with Chris, it just would have been a complete confirmation of, oh, that's what this was. This is from what they trying to get this. Yes, totally. All everybody is wrong. Yes, you were there. Whatever. Now, the internet streets. Shout out to Miss Millie Chan, who I follow. She actually dug up some photos of when both Chris Fletcher and Marsau was apparently in Atlanta. And those dates that which he said that he was in Atlanta do not match up. Now, I can't give y'all a whole rundown, but apparently there was some like January 3rd in there where he actually was somewhere else. Well, January 4th, where he was actually somewhere else. She's like, so unless he went to two different places, he went to Atlanta, then flew over to Ohio, which business could possibly, but she was just saying that there's some if you actually look at some of the dates that he stated that when he was in Atlanta, it does not line up. So
now is Chris Fletcher the one who
yes,
Melody and Martell was at the house and she threw the glass? That Chris Fletcher? So Chris Fletcher is just like everywhere. Like like every time it's some like marital drama, is Chris Fletcher is somehow like in the middle or help. Like I guess him and his wife, I guess the other couples like really look up to Chris Fletcher and his wife.
Yeah, either that or maybe they're like marriage counselors at some point, or because I do know that they did reveal that Chris and his wife did go through a lot in their marriage. So there's some possibility either they are either marriage counselors or do this type of work.
I was going to say, well, I wonder, and I'm trying to figure out, do they do like real estate work as well?
I believe that they do. Well, I know Chris does. I don't know about his wife. I'm not sure what line of work that his wife is in.
Maybe I need to introduce them to the cast. Like, what's going on with Chris Fletcher and Mrs. Fletcher?
Right. This is true. They probably don't want the drama. They probably like, oh no.
That's probably like,
because you remember Chris, and when Martell was going on, Chris didn't even have no words for Martell. He just was like, and even when he was coming to him for business meetings, he was like, listen, this is the deal. This is what we're doing. This is how we're moving. And, on the acres that they had, he was just like, Chris was always sitting there like, yeah, that's not going to work out. So they probably not giving Carlos what they really want.
Right.
Like boring.
Now, I will say it's just for as far as the Marsau thing. I mean, we can move on from that, but I think his issue is that he feels like he doesn't owe anybody an explanation.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like I know what I was or wasn't doing, and I don't owe anybody an explanation. And unfortunately, it looks like he feels like he doesn't even owe Tisha an explanation.
Right. I definitely will say that in that whole scene, even at the end when he was like, the only thing that I want is you, or need is you, baby, and all this stuff, like it didn't feel authentic and genuine. It was definitely not. I feel like that was really screaming more guilt than it really was, because we've never, out of all the seasons, we've never seen Marsau ever be chum chum with her, like, or lovey dovey. I haven't seen it, and I just haven't.
But are we asking for too much? It's like on one hand, it's like we're like show her some affection, Marcel. Like show her that you're for her, and then when he does it, it's like, man, you fake. Because now, wow, all of a sudden you want to you love her and you need her so much. So it's like
I don't think that we're asking for too much. Like, it just, every time, I'll say this, from when my husband and I look at the TV show, he's always saying specifically, he's like, that man does not like that woman. So if this is just from a man looking, he's like, he does not like her. And so I don't, I would have to agree. Like, I don't really feel like, why my thing is my question would be, why now? Because you're in this situation, like, again, the one time that, when we even go back to the whole Tisha and Marsau tell all, whatever, when they put their clips together over over the seasons, we saw him give her flowers that one time when he came to her, that little event or whatever, and he was like, oh, I'm proud of you. Like, that was it. Everything else has been, T, like, you're coming to me about this and I don't understand why. T, why are you even worried about, whatever. And again, some things are valid in which he's said, but I think that a woman has to always feel that her voice is valid and that her voice is valued. And I do not think that Tisha, in this marriage, that her voice is valued to the point that he can hear, even in this conversation. Like, I just feel like he just automatically went like, you're bringing me this nonsense, and it should be, again, I hear you, I understand that your mother, which I do not agree, and I agree with him on that, though. There's one thing that I agree, that Wanda does need to stay out of the business. But at the end of the day, if things were brought to me and my child was, I think she did the right thing by, I think she should have went to Tisha. I don't think she should have went to Marsau, but I think that, should have had that conversation and saying, listen, I know that, there's been rumors over the years, but this was presented to me and I don't, or whatever, or I found this, whatever, and I'm concerned, right? I think that that's just the motherly thing to do. I don't think that there is no like harm in that. But yes, going to and approaching her husband first, I think that she was absolutely wrong for that. Like, you just don't do that. Like, boundaries. So anyway,
Miss Wanda don't know boundaries.
right? Oh, of course
We
not.
saw that later on in the episode.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I feel like, both of them actually got on my nerves on this scene, because even to the point where Tisha then goes, why is it that everybody has to be cheating? She says something to the effect of like, so we just, people are just upset because Martell got caught. I'm like, this has nothing to do with Martell. This has absolutely nothing to do with Martell and Melanie's thing is completely different. I don't think that, like, anybody was rooting for Marsau, for any of these couples to be like, for anybody to be cheating on anybody. So I don't understand her logic when she's saying, oh, is people just upset because he got caught. Now my other thing to that is when she said, oh, because he got caught, I kind of was looking at it like, so are y'all admitting that there has been infidelity, and that it's just that y'all decided to keep y'all's under wrap, and then it's all just kind of fell on Martell and Mel. Like, I don't know, but I could be reading it a little bit into
I
it.
mean, technically, yes, because if Martell didn't have a baby, because apparently Martell had been cheating for some time. So
Right.
if Martell wouldn't have never had a baby, I guess he and Melody would have just kept moving along like he wasn't cheating. Just like I guess Tisha and Marsau may or may not be doing.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know what? I take that back because you could see that there was something going on.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember when they went on the cabin trip, like when she found out she was pregnant and everything, she was kind of distant from Martell. It was like she didn't want to be bothered. Like, and like she had some things going on. Melody, I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But so then we get to
Jaylin's
housewarming party.
Mm-hmm.
And Kimmy decides that she wants Stormy and Destiny to try and talk it out. You know what? Before we go there,
Mm-hmm.
and you know what? I don't know if this scene was before or after, but I remember someone mentioned to Tiffany that you and Melody are just coworkers and now she's going with you on a trip to find your dad. Who said that?
I think it was Destiny.
Was it Destiny who said that?
When they were sitting down in the gym or whatever they were at.
That was interesting to me. And not as a bad thing on Melody's head, not a bad thing on either one of theirs behalf, kind of on Tiffany, because Tiffany, you dropped your husband for somebody who's really not your friend or like that. But it seems like Tiffany's trying to turn it into a girls' trip, like inviting. I think Tiffany may end up inviting everyone.
Right, which is what I said in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Like I said that, I don't the reason for Melody and Tiffany's relationship, we've not really seen them having a relationship outside of business relationship. So, again, why she would invite necessarily Mel, I don't really understand that. And when she said I want to turn it into a girls trip, I definitely thought like more than just Melody.
Yeah.
But but I will say that talking about Destiny and Tiffany, the one thing that I will say is that Tiffany did tell Destiny with her facial expression, honey, she just be shocked to the god. She'd be like, I'll be like, girl, what is going on? But she did say, she was like, you don't feel like you were the aggressor there. Like, you don't feel like, you was definitely making fun of her. And then Destiny's like, well, I was only making fun of her because, so,
But then, I don't know, because Tiffany she said that Destiny was the aggressor, but then she also said that, you always say, Melody's my bodyguard. Now Melody has a bodyguard or security or whatever the word she used. And it's like,
I was like, watch yourself, Tiffany. You've been chilled this season so far. Just watch yourself. Don't get into the midst of all this. And we still trying to like you.
I think Melody would trade Tiffany up for Stormy in a minute. So she better. But okay, so yeah, we're at the housewarming, and Stormy and Melody are Stormy and Destiny are going to have we got Stormy with the E, Tiffany, Melody, Kimmy, right. And then we got Tisha.
Tisha.
But anyway, so they're in the room. They're trying to hash things out, and I think they should try again. Mm-hmm. I think they were gonna get somewhere, but I actually understand both sides of the whole sweetie dispute, because it's a way that you can say sweetie to somebody, which for me personally, I don't know, that I'm team Destiny, but and not when it comes to Destiny and Stormy, I'm not necessarily team Destiny, but just all around I'm kind of team Destiny. But I didn't think that she said it in a condescending way. And there is a way that you can say it where it is condescending. I felt like maybe that's just the way she talks. But at the same time, if someone says, "Don't call me sweetie," I can respect that she doesn't want to be called sweetie, regardless of what her tone was or how she meant it. I would, if it was me, if I was Destiny, I would say, "Oh, okay," and because we're trying to hash out things, first of all, and second of all, respect what she wants to be. Don't call her sweetie. Her name is Stormy. She's not your sweetie.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that we have to be very careful with giving people pet names. I don't know if you remember, but we had that issue when we were in high school with Myra. I don't know if you remember, but Myra didn't like being called honey.
Right.
And even if it was in a night, but I think Miss CBO called her honey, kept calling her honey. She was like, "Can you
All the
stop?
time.
Can you stop calling me that?" And he was like, "For what? Like, what's wrong? Is there an issue?" She was like, "I don't like pet names. I don't like being called those things." So, you know, I think that you're right in the sense of, once somebody asks you not to call them those things, you just should refrain and just, I think that Destiny could have just humbled herself and said, "I definitely didn't mean it any type of way. My apologies. I will make sure that it's Stormy." Because that would and the reason why I thought it was condescending is
Mm-hmm.
because we're not on that level. We don't have that relationship for us, for you, even if you're saying it in a way of like, "Oh, sweetie, listen, that wasn't anything. I
Right.
didn't mean anything by that." Like, we're not there. Again, it's the same thing with Tiffany and Mel business. You and Stormy seem to only have a true like business affairs relationship. So just because you're in business don't mean that we are there we're bonded like that. So I think that just on trying to fix the situation, that I think she just should have just refrained from it,
Yeah.
period, rather if it was condescending or not,
Yeah.
because of their present, relationship. So
Well, the reason why I didn't think it was shady is because like I said, it's a way. It's like a sweetie. It's almost like a emphasis on it, and she kind of just said it like in so smooth. And then the way she got so upset when Stormy was like, "Don't call me sweetie. I'm not your sweetie. My name is Stormy," or whatever. The way Destiny got so upset about it, I felt like it wasn't shade, only because I felt like she was like, "Girl, like I can't do no right with you. So like, I'll forget it. I don't even want to do this." So that's why I took it as not being shady, but
yeah, no, I think there needs to be I think that Destiny, there's some maturity that Destiny really needs she got to do some growing up, and she can't fly off the rails every time there's a correction or if there's someone trying to correct her about something. And I feel that we see more of that than we see there ever being like a time to sit back, because I mean, if we go back to the history, the same thing with from Kimmy and Destiny, and when Destiny was like, "Well, when you said this, or you talking about the chicken man," she said, "Well, I only know you first." Like, there's just always this aggression, of course, but they're always saying, and we just yet to see Destiny say, "Listen, you're right. I'm aggressive, and here are the reasons why." And just because somebody might know the reason why they're aggressive doesn't necessarily mean it's still right. It's not right. It's definitely not right in all situations. And so that's the thing, is that I just really want to see Destiny level up in her maturity to say, "Okay, I'm going to eat this." And even though she says time and time again, like, "Well, I sat there and, you know, I'm like, no, I think you could do a little bit better, before you come out of your mouth about certain things." So, yeah, child. So, we'll see. I mean, they might, I'll say this: if she probably wants some future sponsors, some sponsorship, she'll get it right with dear Stormy. So yes. So moving on.
that was brought up too.
Huh?
Remember Stormy mentioned that for a hot second. She was like, "I thought that we were cool. I had just talked to you about the sponsorship."
Right. Mm-hmm. So
So
no,
then
she'll make it right.
Wanda,
Miss Wanda's world comes breezing through. Oh, jeez, I
Stormy
don't even know why. I don't even know why. You know what?
Hurricane Wanda.
I'll say this: Jaylin should have had complete control over his guest list. Period. Like he should have
That's
had
true.
complete control. Like, we love Kimmy, but I just feel like and I get it when she was because he just was like, well, why is they was like, oh, because they love you. I'm like,
He really was like, why would you invite
yeah,
Wanda?
right. That was a complete mistake. I'm sorry.
I think that while I don't believe Kimmy thought Miss Wanda was going to get it started in that way, I think she knows that Miss Wanda is good TV. So she knew that Miss Wanda, me personally, I just think she thought Miss Wanda was I don't know why I'm seeing the good in everybody today. But anyway, but Kimmy's good. But anyway, I think she believed that Miss Wanda was going to come with the little funny sayings and the little snide remarks. I don't think she thought Hurricane Wanda was going to come. Like with, ready for everybody. And now this got on my nerves with Tisha. Like, even Marsau, like, pulled her to the side and was like, your mother's, like, starting stuff.
Right.
And I mean, I understand, you don't have control over another adult or whatever, but pull your mom's call herself defending you. So pull your mom to the side and say, Mom, it's not the
here
place
for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
right. Well, I think that it just continuously shows that Tisha is, wherever that lack of confidence is when it comes to speaking up for herself with anybody, it's unfortunately it's just not there. It's not there. She does not. And again, but we can even look at why she chose a spouse such as Marsau, because if your own mother doesn't value your no, then there's a huge possibility that as she was growing up and whatever Wanda said goes. So when I tell you this is what it is. When I say go ahead, this is where you go. When I say go over, right? So I think that that when you raise your children like that, and they get out in the world, you're either going to get two type of people. You're going to get one type of person that's just going to immediately rebel, and then they're like, I've never been able to have my own voice, and so now whatever, and then you just can't. They flying off the hinges, and you can control them. Or you're going to have somebody that I feel like what Tisha is, where there is. Well, I was always told to stay in my place. I was always told to just do this to be able to do that. I was always, so I think that, and she knows, because again, besides now Destiny, which we still haven't really necessarily seen on the show just as of yet, we've really yet to see Tisha have real friendship. So when you in a sense maybe feel like you only have your mother, that's your ride or die. I'm not going to cross my mother, because then I have to now hear from my mother, well, why would you come against me when I'm trying to take up for you, right? That's that art of manipulation. And Wanda has that very well. And I think that, with Tisha, again, growing up that way, and as a rather, she's, I don't know how old they are or whatever, but close to 40-year-old woman, she just still can't stand on 10 toes down. She can't. And it's an issue for sure, but and she might be able to stay 10 toes down on some other thing in business. Seems like she's really good in business, but when it comes down to and in her education, but when it comes to interpersonal relationships or relationships period, that authentic relationships, she just seems to lose that communication where she feels heard and respected. Tisha is not heard or respected from her mother or from her husband. So, and I mean, and we even heard Wanda when she even told Tisha, and you better not find out that I knew that you knew about it. It's like, well, at the end of the day, Mom, if I'm deciding to stay with my cheating husband or my husband who has cheated on me in the past, that's my business. That's my prerogative. Like, I don't care what you or the world has to say about it. I've made that choice. So you finding out and threatening me and saying that you found, if I found I'm gonna dig into your, like, I was clutching my invisible pearls, like, no, Wanda, I'm sorry. The boundaries of this.
She doesn't treat her like an adult.
No, not at all. Not at all. So, No, Wanda, like I always say, she got to get some business of her own. I want them to. We need to get into Wanda's life, girl. We need to know what's up. So we really have some things to talk about.
So Wanda caught herself getting on everybody for apparently having conversations about Tisha at the Christmas party.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody must have told her that whole line about shoes, if you
buy, don't trust the person who buys shoes without the box.
Yeah, somebody must have told her that line is a good one because she used it again, and it didn't even make sense in that situation. Because I mean, everyone there are well-to-do, they're well-to-do people. I mean, they do well. So I don't even know where that came from. Like, why she was referring, she couldn't have been talking about Stormy. She couldn't have been talking about Kimmy. She couldn't have been talking about Melody. She couldn't have been talking about Destiny. Even Destiny, I mean, what, Miss Wanda? Like, you probably made the least amount of money there. So I don't even know why that was, what it meant. Because I'm assuming that means like you're low class or you don't have nothing to lose or whatever. And it's like, Miss Wanda, like, really?
I don't
know. And Stormy's husband was just like,
child, Stormy was laid up on that couch like, here's another 4-hour scene that we are
they must be tired.
That's exactly how
think they was playing space for 4 hours. I mean, it's possible, in the Black household we can. Yeah, I personally don't know how to play spades.
Me neither. Like, if they
my dad and them, they could play spades for hours.
I know. And I was like, I'm not getting it. You want to play some I Declare War? So,
want to play Uno?
Yes, Uno down. All variations too. At this point, they got like 6 variations.
Right. But
who's Kimmy's friend? What's her name?
I can't think of her name. For some reason, I want to say her name was Tiffany too, but I don't know. I can't think of her name. But she, she's the one who, I believe at once, I don't know if she was engaged, or I just think she was in a relationship with Marsau and Maurice's brother first.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I think he went on to marry someone else. But I don't think Tisha likes her too much because of this is just rumors, I think. I think I read this somewhere that Tisha doesn't really like her because she feels like she treated the brother some type of way, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Kimmy and her forged a friendship. But why was Miss Wanda mad at her?
Because remember when last season, when she
ain't seen her in a long time, huh?
Because she said, I know you even had some words to say about my child. And then she said, Tisha's a big girl, Miss Wanda. I was like, yes, thank you. That's the great comeback. Because it's like, you don't have to have a conversation. Tisha can come to me. If Tisha has any issue what I said, how I said it, she can come to me. But again, is Tisha going to? Most likely no. She's just not going to. That's why when Tisha jumped up and was like, who are you calling up? I was like, Tisha? All right. I was like, girl, don't let Carlos get in your earphone and hype you up. Be like, this is the point where you stand up, Tisha. You stand up, you become T. Leave the ISH out of your name. You just T straight up. Like, But yeah. So is
Jaylin gonna kick Miss Wanda out, you think?
Jaylin was like, I love Jaylin. He said, you will not use that language. Yeah, so, and
why was she mad at Kimmy? Kimmy ain't do that.
I just think that which is why she always stays mad at Kimmy, is I think that she sees Kimmy as the bone collector, and that she comes back to relay messages, and she doesn't feel like Kimmy speaks up in the situation. Because she's always like, okay, well, you were there, you're relaying this with her, but what did you do while you were there, right?
Kimmy spoke up. What she want Kimmy to do? Cuss the people out? Probably.
I don't know, but she probably, again, it's Tisha, it's her baby, it's her most prized possession at this point, because I know that Tisha has siblings, but I don't know if her siblings.
I wonder if Tisha has sisters. I know she has brothers.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing. So I don't know if they're on her level. So at the end of the day, again, this is Miss Wanda's prized possession, and she's given Miss Wanda, in a sense, an opportunity. So
I wonder, do they cut
protect
Miss
her at
Wanda
all
a check?
costs.
You think they cut Miss Wanda a check for the show?
Oh yeah, I think that they give her a check for sure.
Because I know, like with the Housewives franchise, they don't, like, the husbands don't get a check, but what they do is they negotiate their contract to, like, say they're going to pay a housewife $500,000 a season. They'll negotiate their contract to get $600,000 or $550,000, and then give their husband the 50 or the extra 100 or whatever. Right. So I wonder, does she like roll it up into Tisha's contract, or does Ms. Wanda have a separate like check? But I guess she probably
have a separate check. That's how she was able to get her food truck. So
I thought Marsau was financing.
Oh, well, you're right.
All she did was get her certificate, her license.
Her business license. Yep, you're right. So, but yeah.
So I mean, it's more to come with that.
Yeah.
It looks like it's Stormy and Kiki gonna get into it?
Yeah, it seems like for the next episode that I'm assuming, because I do know that on Stormy's live, she did say, because they were like, well, what do you feel about the whole Kiki?
She's Team Tisha.
Right. And she did say that I think that it was wrong. I don't think that it should have happened, whatever. She said, I don't see myself kikiing with her like that. She said, but I'm not going to say that she's, a bad person or whatever. So I think that that's that conversation that's going to be had, that, you shouldn't have done that. That's your cousin. I don't care who, so I think that they're just going to have that conversation. And then Kiki's probably going to, just give her a little bit of her spice back, her Wanda mix.
About to say, little Wanda.
Yep. Don't fall too far from the tree. But yeah, so we will see next episode. But yes, y'all, leave us in the comments. Leave us comments in the comment section. Let us know, what do you believe when it comes to Marsau and Tisha? Did you think that conversation was authentic? Did you think that he is lying? Do you think that Tisha is just being Tisha and saying, hey, like, I'm not going to give this any life. I believe my husband, and whatever my husband says goes. And what do you think about, what's going on?
Ms. Wanda. What do you think about Ms. Wanda being all up in the business?
All up in the business. Still trying to find her own, but
do you think there's hope?
Tisha's
right.
business.
Do you think there's hope for Destiny and Stormy?
Yeah. So we'll see.
Yes.
Thank you. And always remember to load up on that like button and subscribe and share.
That too.
Till next time. Peace.
Bye.